Aries, stop rushing into decisions without giving yourself the chance to fully consider the consequences. They can ripple through your life in ways you might not anticipate. When you act impulsively, you risk overlooking crucial details or ignoring the bigger picture, potentially leading to unnecessary mistakes, missed opportunities, or even conflicts with others. It's important to remind yourself that not every decision requires immediate action. Slowing down can bring a sense of clarity and balance, allowing you to make choices that truly align with your values and long-term goals. Taking the time to reflect before jumping into something can help you uncover hidden risks, explore alternative solutions, and even discover opportunities you hadn't initially considered. Impulsiveness often stems from a desire to achieve instant results or satisfy short-term desires, but this mindset can lead to regret if it means sacrificing something greater in the long run. By approaching decisions with patience and mindfulness, you create space for better outcomes and stronger connections with the people around you. Slowing down also gives you the opportunity to listen to your intuition and engage in a deeper level of self-awareness. Why are you feeling rushed? What are you trying to achieve? Sometimes, taking a step back allows you to identify underlying fears or pressures driving your urgency. Addressing these feelings can empower you to approach situations with a clearer mind and a steadier hand. Furthermore, by resisting the urge to act impulsively, you avoid the unnecessary stress and tension that often come from hasty decisions. Relationships, careers, and personal endeavors can all suffer when choices are made without thought or care. Learning to pause, consult trusted individuals for advice, and carefully consider your next steps can lead to outcomes that feel both fulfilling and sustainable. Remember, life isn't a race. The moments you spend slowing down, thinking critically, and planning your actions can ultimately save you time, energy, and emotional strain in the long run. Cultivate the habit of moving forward with intention, and you'll not only avoid unnecessary setbacks but also create a path that reflects your best self and your brightest aspirations. Taurus, resisting change can be comforting, but it often creates barriers to personal growth and missed opportunities. While stability provides a foundation of security, being overly rigid can lead to stagnation and keep you from reaching your full potential. Life is inherently dynamic, and learning to flow with its changes is a skill that can unlock countless possibilities. When you cling too tightly to routines or familiar ways of thinking, you might miss out on experiences that could enrich your life or teach you valuable lessons. Change can feel daunting, especially when it challenges your sense of control, but it often paves the way for growth, innovation, and self-discovery. The key is to embrace flexibility and stay open to new ideas, even when they push you out of your comfort zone. Start by examining why you resist change. Is it fear of failure? The uncertainty of the unknown? Understanding the root of your reluctance can help you approach transitions with greater clarity and confidence. Remind yourself that change doesn't have to be a complete overhaul of your life. It can be gradual and intentional, allowing you to adapt at your own pace. One way to become more open to change is by viewing it as an opportunity rather than a threat. Each new situation brings a chance to learn something, meet new people, or discover hidden strengths within yourself. It's about shifting your mindset from one of avoidance to one of curiosity. Instead of asking, "What could go wrong?" ask, "What could I gain from this?" Flexibility doesn't mean abandoning your values or goals, it means being willing to explore alternative paths to achieve them. Life rarely unfolds exactly as planned, and adaptability is the bridge that connects where you are to where you want to be. By staying open-minded, you'll find creative solutions to challenges and uncover opportunities you never thought possible. Surround yourself with people who inspire growth and embrace change themselves. Their perspective can be contagious, helping you see transitions in a more positive light. Remember, every major achievement or breakthrough often begins with a willingness to step into the unknown. Ultimately, Resisting change is like trying to hold back the tide, it's an uphill battle. Instead, allow yourself to move with life's natural rhythms. Trust that even the most unexpected changes can lead you to something better. Growth, after all, happens when you let go of rigidity and embrace the flow of possibility. Gemini, stop overcommitting socially, it's time to step back and rethink how you're spending your time and energy. While being involved in multiple activities and maintaining a broad social circle can seem exciting and fulfilling, overcommitting often leads to stress, burnout, and a lack of genuine connection. It's important to prioritize quality over quantity in your relationships and activities to truly thrive. When you spread yourself too thin, you risk not being fully present in the moments that matter most. Overcommitting can leave you constantly rushing from one thing to another, juggling responsibilities and obligations without giving any of them the attention they truly deserve. This not only diminishes your experience but can also leave others feeling unappreciated or undervalued. By focusing on fewer things at a time, you allow yourself the space to engage more deeply and meaningfully, strengthening bonds and making your efforts more impactful. It's okay to set boundaries and say no when your plate is already full. In fact, learning to do so is a powerful act of self-care and respect for your own well-being. You don't have to be everywhere or do everything to be valued. In reality, when you try to please everyone, you often end up pleasing no one, least of all yourself. By carefully choosing where to invest your time and energy, you ensure that your commitments align with your values and goals, making your contributions more authentic and rewarding. Take a moment to reflect on what truly matters to you. Which relationships bring you joy and fulfillment? Which activities align with your passions and purpose? Prioritizing these will not only improve your emotional and mental health but also allow you to excel in the areas that matter most. True connection and satisfaction come from depth, not breadth, and this requires you to be intentional about where you direct your focus. Overcommitting can also leave little room for spontaneity and relaxation, both essential for a balanced life. When you let go of the need to be everywhere, you create space for the unexpected joys of life and opportunities for self-reflection. Remember, you don't need to do it all to live a full and meaningful life. Simplify your schedule, honor your limits, and trust that by focusing on quality over quantity, you'll cultivate a life filled with rich experiences and authentic connections. Cancer, let go of the past, release lingering grudges, former relationships, and unresolved regrets that may be holding you back. While it's normal to look back at what has been, holding on to painful memories or emotions can prevent you from fully stepping into your future. Embracing what lies ahead requires the bravery to let go of what no longer benefits you, creating room for healing, personal growth, and fresh possibilities. Old grudges are like heavy chains that tether you to a moment in time that no longer exists. Harboring resentment only consumes your energy and peace of mind, often without impacting the person or situation that caused the hurt. By choosing forgiveness, not for them, but for yourself, you free your heart from bitterness and reclaim your emotional well-being. Letting go of anger is not about excusing what happened but about choosing to prioritize your peace over the pain of the past. Similarly, past relationships, whether romantic or platonic, can leave a lasting imprint. However, holding on to the idea of what once was can prevent you from appreciating what is or exploring what could be. People grow and change, and sometimes relationships simply aren't meant to last forever. By releasing the attachment to old dynamics or unfulfilled expectations, you allow yourself to move forward with clarity and openness to new connections that better align with who you are now. Regrets can be one of the hardest things to let go of because they often feel tied to your sense of identity or self-worth. Yet, dwelling on mistakes or missed opportunities only keeps you stuck in a cycle of self-reproach. Every misstep holds a lesson, and every closed door paves the way for another to open. Acknowledge the past, learn from it, and then let it rest where it belongs, in yesterday. The future is unwritten, and your energy is better spent creating a life you're proud of rather than replaying moments you cannot change. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means making peace with the past so it no longer defines your present. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of what could have been to fully embrace what is. Healing takes time, but each small step you take toward release brings you closer to a lighter, brighter future. Trust that what's ahead holds more promise than what's behind. By letting go, you open yourself to endless possibilities and the joy of living in the moment. Leo, seeking constant validation from others can trap you in a cycle of insecurity and dependence, where your sense of worth is tied to external opinions. While it's natural to appreciate recognition and feedback, relying on others for approval can undermine your self-esteem and leave you feeling unfulfilled. True confidence comes from within, anchored in your values, accomplishments, and belief in yourself. It's time to stop looking outward for validation and start cultivating inner contentment. Understand that your worth isn't defined by how many likes you get on social media, the praise of coworkers, or the approval of friends and family. Instead, it's shaped by your unique qualities, your growth, and the effort you put into living authentically. When you measure your value by external standards, you give away the power to define your own happiness. Begin by celebrating your achievements, no matter how small. Reflect on your journey and recognize the challenges you've overcome. These moments of self-appreciation can help you realize that you don't need constant applause to feel worthy. Your progress, resilience, and effort are valid regardless of whether anyone else acknowledges them. Building inner confidence requires self-compassion and a willingness to silence your inner critic. Instead of waiting for others to affirm your abilities, practice affirming yourself. Create a habit of positive self-talk, reminding yourself of your strengths and accomplishments. Over time, this practice will help you rely less on external feedback and more on your internal sense of value. Learning to detach from external validation doesn't mean ignoring others entirely. Constructive feedback and meaningful connections remain valuable, but they should complement, not dictate, your self-worth. Surround yourself with people who support your growth without requiring you to seek their approval. Their encouragement will feel more genuine and empowering when you're not dependent on it. It's also important to understand that seeking validation often stems from deeper insecurities or fears of rejection. Take the time to explore these feelings and work on healing them. Journaling, therapy, or mindfulness practices can be powerful tools for developing a stronger sense of self. When you confront the root causes of your need for validation, you free yourself to grow without being tethered to others' opinions. By learning to trust yourself and finding joy in your own accomplishments, you'll discover a newfound sense of freedom and confidence. You'll no longer feel the need to chase approval because you'll know, deep down, that you're enough just as you are. Let your worth shine from within. It's always been there, waiting for you to recognize it. Virgo, overanalyzing every detail of a situation can leave you feeling stuck, anxious, and unsure of how to move forward. While reflection and careful thought are valuable, there's a point where analysis turns into paralysis. Perfectionism often drives this cycle, convincing you that every decision must be flawless, every outcome certain, and every action meticulously planned. However, this pursuit of perfection can rob you of spontaneity, creativity, and the ability to trust yourself. It's time to step back and give yourself permission to let go of overthinking. Trust your instincts, they are more powerful than you might realize. Your gut feeling often carries wisdom gathered from past experiences, emotions, and subconscious observations. By silencing the relentless inner dialogue and tuning into your intuition, you may find clarity faster than through hours of analysis. Embracing imperfection is a vital part of this process. Life is inherently unpredictable, and no plan can account for every variable. Aiming for perfection often sets an unattainable standard that leads to frustration and self-doubt. Instead, reframe your perspective, see mistakes as opportunities for growth rather than failures. Imperfection isn't a flaw, it's a natural part of being human. By accepting this, you free yourself from the pressure to get everything exactly right and open the door to learning, adapting, and evolving. Start by taking small steps to break free from overanalyzing. Set time limits for decision-making or create a list of pros and cons without revisiting it endlessly. When faced with uncertainty, remind yourself that no choice is entirely irreversible. Most decisions can be adjusted or revisited if needed. Letting go of the fear of making a wrong choice can help you act with more confidence. Remember, progress is more important than perfection. Some of the most innovative ideas and successful endeavors have come from trial and error, not from flawless execution. By embracing imperfection, you allow yourself to move forward, take risks, and discover unexpected opportunities. Surround yourself with people and environments that encourage action over endless planning. Having supportive voices that remind you to trust yourself can help quiet the overanalyzing tendencies. Celebrate small wins and acknowledge the courage it takes to act even when you don't have all the answers. Ultimately, life is too short to be spent second-guessing every decision. Let go of the need to analyze every detail and embrace the beauty of imperfection. Trust that you are capable, resilient, and resourceful enough to navigate whatever comes your way. By loosening the grip of overthinking, you'll find more joy, spontaneity, and success in your journey. Libra, stop trying to please everyone. It's an exhausting and ultimately impossible pursuit. While your natural desire to create harmony and avoid conflict is admirable, constantly prioritizing others' happiness at the expense of your own can lead to burnout, resentment, and a loss of self-identity. It's time to recognize that you don't have to be everything to everyone. Your well-being matters just as much as anyone else's. People-pleasing often stems from a fear of rejection or a deep-seated need for approval. You may find yourself saying yes to things you don't want to do, overcommitting, or bending over backward to meet the expectations of others, all to maintain their approval or avoid disappointing them. But here's the truth, no matter how hard you try, you can't please everyone. People have different expectations, needs, and perspectives, and it's not your responsibility to cater to them all. Instead of trying to meet everyone else's needs, start focusing on your own. Prioritizing yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary for a balanced and fulfilling life. Learn to set healthy boundaries by clearly communicating your limits. Practice saying no without guilt or lengthy explanations. Your time and energy are precious, and you deserve to use them in ways that align with your goals and values. Embrace the idea that not everyone will always be happy with your choices, and that's okay. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries and value your authenticity. By prioritizing your own happiness and well-being, you'll attract healthier, more reciprocal relationships. Reclaiming your sense of self also involves understanding your own desires and needs. Take time to reflect on what brings you joy, fulfillment, and peace. Are there passions or pursuits you've put on hold to accommodate others? Rediscover those parts of yourself and make space for them in your life. By doing so, you not only enrich your own experience but also set an example of self-respect for others. Breaking free from the need to please everyone doesn't mean abandoning your kind and considerate nature. It simply means balancing that kindness with self-respect. You can still support and care for others, but do so in ways that don't compromise your own happiness or drain your energy. By honoring your own needs, you're better equipped to show up fully and authentically for the people who truly matter. Ultimately, prioritizing your happiness allows you to live a life that feels true to you. Remember, your worth isn't tied to how much you do for others or how many people approve of you. It's found in embracing who you are and pursuing a life that aligns with your values, passions, and dreams. Let go of the need to please everyone and start living for yourself. Scorpio, let go of grudges, they do more harm to you than to the people you're holding them against. When you cling to resentment and past wrongs, it's like carrying a heavy burden that weighs on your heart and mind. While it's natural to feel hurt or betrayed, holding on to those emotions can trap you in a cycle of negativity, preventing you from finding peace and moving forward. Letting go doesn't mean condoning the actions that hurt you, it means choosing your well-being over the pain of the past. Forgiveness is not about excusing bad behavior or forgetting what happened, it's about freeing yourself from the grip of anger, bitterness, and hurt. When you forgive, you reclaim your emotional energy and create space for healing and growth. Forgiving others doesn't erase the lessons you've learned or diminish your experiences, instead, it allows you to move beyond them with strength and clarity. However, forgiveness isn't just for others. Often, the hardest person to forgive is yourself. You may be holding on to guilt or regret over past mistakes, replaying them in your mind and criticizing yourself endlessly. But self-compassion is just as important as compassion for others. Acknowledge your humanity and understand that mistakes are part of life's journey. Use those experiences as opportunities for learning and self-improvement rather than as reasons to dwell in self-reproach. Practicing forgiveness doesn't happen overnight, it's a process that requires patience and intentional effort. Start by acknowledging your feelings and understanding the root of your resentment. Journaling, therapy, or meditation can help you process your emotions and gain perspective. Once you're ready, shift your focus from the past to the present. What can you do today to nurture your emotional well-being? How can you redirect the energy spent on resentment toward building a more positive and fulfilling life? Letting go of grudges also allows you to cultivate healthier relationships. When you release resentment, you open yourself up to more authentic and meaningful connections. The people in your life will see the lighter, freer version of you, someone who values inner peace over holding on to old wounds. Ultimately, forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. It's an act of self-liberation, freeing you from the chains of past hurts and paving the way for emotional freedom. By releasing grudges, you're choosing to prioritize your happiness, inner peace, and future growth. It's not about forgetting the past but about reclaiming your power and creating a life unburdened by negativity. Let go, forgive, and embrace the freedom that comes with it. Sagittarius, it's time to stop shying away from commitments. While your desire for independence and freedom is understandable, avoiding responsibility or long-term connections can leave you feeling unfulfilled and disconnected. Embracing commitments, whether in relationships, work, or personal goals, doesn't mean sacrificing your freedom, it's about creating a foundation that allows you to thrive and grow. True fulfillment often arises from the consistency and dedication you invest in the things that matter most to you. When you avoid commitments, you may experience a sense of liberation in the short term, but over time, this avoidance can lead to a feeling of emptiness or a lack of direction. It's important to recognize that commitment is not about being tied down, it's about building something meaningful that brings purpose and satisfaction. Whether it's nurturing a relationship, advancing in your career, or working toward a personal goal, consistent effort helps you experience deeper connections, growth, and a stronger sense of accomplishment. Commitment doesn't always mean grand gestures or dramatic decisions. It's often the small, everyday actions that count the most. In relationships, for example, showing up for others with patience, care, and reliability strengthens bonds over time. In your professional life, commitment can manifest as staying focused on long-term goals, working hard to achieve them, and holding yourself accountable for the progress you make. The same goes for personal growth. Devoting yourself to self-improvement and consistency can lead to a sense of pride and fulfillment. It's also crucial to understand that commitment doesn't require you to abandon your personal freedom or desires. By committing to certain aspects of your life, you create the structure needed to pursue what truly matters. You'll have more stability to explore your passions, build lasting relationships, and achieve personal success. Commitment is not about sacrificing your freedom, it's about finding the right balance that supports both your independence and your growth. Remember that true commitment is a path to greater joy and fulfillment. The relationships, responsibilities, and pursuits you dedicate yourself to have the potential to enrich your life in ways that fleeting distractions cannot. When you invest your time and energy into what truly matters, you'll find a deeper sense of purpose and satisfaction that far outweighs the short-term thrill of avoiding responsibility. Capricorn, it's time to stop being so harsh on yourself. You put in the effort, dedicate yourself to your work, and strive to do your best every day, but perfectionism can often blind you to the progress you've made. The constant drive to improve or reach the ideal can make it difficult to acknowledge the accomplishments you've already achieved. Instead of focusing on what still needs to be done, take a moment to appreciate all the steps you've taken and all the hard work you've put in so far. Perfectionism can become a heavy burden, preventing you from celebrating your wins, no matter how small they might seem. When you're always striving for the unattainable standard, it can lead to feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, or burnout. You may be so focused on what's lacking that you fail to see the positive strides you've made. Recognizing your accomplishments and being proud of them, without the need for everything to be flawless, can bring you a greater sense of satisfaction and confidence. Being kind to yourself isn't about lowering your standards, it's about embracing the journey, acknowledging the effort, and understanding that mistakes and imperfections are part of the process. It's essential to remind yourself that growth is not linear. Every step, even the missteps, is valuable and contributes to who you're becoming. You don't need to have everything figured out right away, and you certainly don't need to achieve perfection to be worthy of success or recognition. Allow yourself to feel proud of what you've done so far. Celebrate the milestones, big or small, and give yourself credit for the hard work you've put in. Practice self-compassion by recognizing that no one is perfect, and that includes you. Perfection doesn't define success, it's the effort, the persistence, and the resilience that truly matter. Be kind to yourself and give yourself permission to take a break when needed, knowing that rest is just as important as work. Remember, you are your greatest supporter. Don't be your own harshest critic. Embrace your imperfections, honor your efforts, and be gentle with yourself. You're doing better than you think, and it's time to acknowledge that progress. Aquarius, it's time to stop emotionally distancing yourself. While independence and self-sufficiency are crucial for you, learning to connect more deeply with others on an emotional level can enrich your relationships and bring you more fulfillment. It's natural to value your autonomy and enjoy your personal space, but it's equally important to allow yourself to open up and let others in. Emotional detachment may feel comfortable in the short term, but it can prevent you from experiencing the depth of human connection that is essential for building meaningful bonds. Being emotionally closed off might protect you from vulnerability or potential disappointment, but it also keeps you from fully engaging with the people around you. Relationships thrive on connection, trust, and shared experiences, and when you avoid those emotional exchanges, you may miss out on the richness they bring. By embracing emotional openness, you invite deeper understanding and intimacy into your life, creating stronger, more supportive connections with others. It's not about giving up your independence, but rather finding a balance between maintaining your personal boundaries and being emotionally present for others. You can still retain your individuality while being more attuned to the emotions of those around you. It's in those moments of shared vulnerability that true emotional bonds are formed, and those bonds can lead to more fulfilling friendships, romantic relationships, and family connections. Opening up emotionally doesn't mean you need to overshare or become completely dependent on others. It's about letting down your guard just enough to let people in and trust them with your feelings. It's about being authentic and allowing yourself to experience the joy and support that comes with close emotional connections. While independence will always be a part of you, balancing it with emotional engagement can lead to a deeper sense of belonging and enrich the relationships you value most. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, and remember that true strength lies not just in standing alone, but in knowing when to lean on others. By embracing emotional connection, you'll find that it's possible to have both independence and deep, meaningful relationships that bring you lasting happiness. Pisces, it's time to stop avoiding reality and facing challenges head-on. While it's easy to slip into daydreams or distractions when things get tough, these habits only delay progress and keep you from confronting the issues that require your attention. Whether it's personal growth, career goals, or emotional struggles, turning away from reality doesn't solve the problem, it just prolongs the inevitable. Instead of escaping into a fantasy world or numbing yourself with distractions, it's crucial to step up and take proactive actions toward your goals. Facing difficulties, though uncomfortable, is the only way to overcome them and build the strength you need to succeed. Avoiding tough situations might feel like a temporary relief, but this escape strategy only leads to missed opportunities and stagnant growth. Challenges are a part of life, and while they may seem overwhelming at first, they hold the potential for growth, learning, and progress. When you approach these obstacles with courage and determination, you unlock your ability to adapt and thrive. Procrastination or avoidance may offer short-term comfort, but they don't bring long-term satisfaction or fulfillment. By confronting your problems, you take control of your narrative and move forward with a sense of purpose and accomplishment. Every step you take toward resolving a challenge, no matter how small, brings you closer to your ultimate goals. It's in the process of tackling obstacles that you develop resilience and the skills needed to navigate future challenges with confidence. Instead of getting lost in distractions or fantasy, focus on what you can do today to make progress toward your ambitions. Whether it's taking that first step toward a career change, addressing a relationship issue, or simply organizing your life to reduce stress, each action you take will bring you closer to achieving what you want. Embrace the discomfort of facing reality, knowing that every challenge you meet head-on is an opportunity for growth, and every step you take makes you stronger. By engaging directly with your goals, you'll build the momentum needed to move forward and ultimately create the life you desire.